pro-independence jail leaders have taken their case to the United Nations. They've been in pre-trial prison now for around 3 months. Hello and welcome to Catalan News. Oriol Junqueras, Jordi Cuixart, Jordi Sànchez and Joaquim Forn are still in pre-trial prison accused of rebellion for the events last autumn leading up to the Declaration of Independence. The first three have taken a significant step forward in their defence, bringing their cases to the UN's Working Group on Arbitrary Detention. One of them, the deposed Catalan Vice President Junqueras, suggested today one solution for the Catalan presidency issue, having two heads of government. We'll get you all the details on this proposal, and in our show today, we'll also look into the creation of a centre to detect cancers using genetics. Three of the Catalan leaders who are still behind bars are integrating a new team of lawyers for their defence, led by Ben Emerson from Britain. Their field of expertise is human rights, and they think the imprisonments are a case of arbitrary political detention. Today they presented an appeal in London. Its aim is to make their case heard well beyond the Catalan or Spanish borders.
The cases of three Catalan leaders in jail have gone international. The prominent human rights lawyer Ben Emerson and his team will join their defence to take their cases to the United Nations. Vice President Oriol Junqueras, MP Jordi Sànchez and grassroots activist Jordi Cuixart face criminal charges for their role in Catalonia's independence bid. But their defence claims that their imprisonment is unfair.
Spain must release these men. The actions of the Spanish government set a dangerous precedent for the right to peaceful protest and political opposition around the world. And we ask, therefore, for the UN to strongly reiterate that governments cannot use empty criminal charges to quell political opposition.
The UN's Working Group on Arbitrary Detention has dealt with proceedings involving such figures as Burmese leader Aung San Suu Kyi and WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. Although its rulings are not binding, a positive opinion might put pressure on Spain. Throughout his career, Emerson has worked on cases in major international courts. Emerson's argument is clear. The charges keeping the pro-independence leaders in jail have no legal basis.
That the charges brought against them are unsustainable in the light of what has happened, since there was no element of violence. This is a classic case of arbitrary political detention.
But the case against pro-independence leaders is moving forward too. The Spanish Supreme Court continues to interview witnesses for a major case in which 28 key figures are under investigation. In total, 12 people have been in jail at some point over the past few months for their roles in the Catalan independence movement. The Spanish Justice Minister said today that as soon as the trial to prosecute them starts in spring, some might be barred from holding public office. It is a move that could sweep away an entire generation of Catalan political leaders.
The current situation in Catalonia has not only been discussed in London and Madrid today. Although EU officials remain silent over Catalonia, the European Parliament held an event over the issue as well, including MEPs and citizens who were injured after the referendum day Spanish police violence. The event was called Fundamental and Civil Rights in the European Union, the Catalan case. One of the people speaking was Alfred Maurice de Zayas, an independent United Nations expert. He said that it's outrageous to have political prisoners in Europe, and he also expressed concern about the situation. According to him, the European Commission should intervene in the conflict.
Hay presos políticos en España, eso es escandaloso. Que haya presos políticos en Europa y que la Comisión Europea calle. Pues esto es un problema europeo y estamos en el Parlamento Europeo. Pues es evidente que la Comisión Europea tiene que tomar esto como un peligro sobre la democracia en España.
The debate over the underlying conflict between the Catalan pro-independence movement and the Spanish authorities is going ahead in parallel to the latest clash between both sides, the election of a new president. The candidate for the majority in the Catalan parliament is Carles Puigdemont, but the Spanish government is doing its utmost to bar him from being sworn in, and doubts are also arising in the pro-Indi ranks. While waiting for the Constitutional Court to have a final say over the issue, Vice President Oriol Junqueras, jailed in a Madrid region prison, cast light on the standoff regarding who the next Catalan president should be.
The deposed Catalan government's second-in-command, Oriol Junqueras, proposes having two Catalan presidents. In an interview with a Spanish digital newspaper, he said that Parliament should swear in an executive president, that is, someone who Madrid accepts. But he suggested combining this post with a symbolic, legitimate president. This could be Puigdemont's role, as his supporters insist on his legitimacy, despite his being removed by Rajoy's government. Junqueras' proposal arrives in the middle of a debate regarding who the next Catalan leader will be. The forces in support of a Catalan state agreed on Puigdemont as their candidate, but Madrid challenged this in the courtroom. Now, the Spanish Constitutional Court has to decide whether to accept Puigdemont's bid. But until this happens, the Catalan parliament leader, Roger Torrent, won't call an investiture debate in the chamber again. This sparked some division in the pro-independence bloc, but Torrent said today that the candidate for president is still Puigdemont.
Carles Puigdemont és el candidat a la investidura de la presidència de la Generalitat. Ho continuarà sent, ho és, i ho continuarà sent.
Carles Puigdemont seemingly gave up in a leaked private message published yesterday. His team said later that it was only a bad moment and that he had gotten over it. But since the leak was made public, the leader of Uniones Ciutadans, Inés Arrimadas, has been urging the pro-independence leaders to admit in public that their efforts are over.
El procés està mort, ho sabem des de fa molt de temps. El tema és que siguin valents de reconèixer en públic el que molts diuen en privat des de fa molt de temps.
But the debate on the next Catalan leader won't be over for days. The Spanish Constitutional Court is not expected to take any decisions on the issue until mid-February.
In business news, Norwegian Airlines announced today that it will move its South European headquarters to Catalonia. The low-cost airline company plans to make the move in the third quarter of this year. The motivation behind it? Rapid growth experienced over the last few years. In 2017, Norwegian catered to around 2 million passengers at Barcelona airport, 23% more than the previous year. This coincides with the exponential growth experienced by the airport itself. The facility closed last year with a record 47 million passengers. Norwegian's new South European head office will be located in El Prat de Llobregat, the town hosting Barcelona airport, and it will have the capacity for around 400 employees. The Nordic company started routes flying to and from the US and Barcelona last year. We are partners. This was the message today from the president of GSMA, the organization behind the upcoming Mobile World Congress. Speaking at an event in Barcelona, he was referring to the relationship between the Catalan capital and the international event due to kick off at the end of this month. John Hoffman took a rather metaphorical approach in a motivational speech in an event attended by professionals and politicians, among them Ada Colau, the mayor of the city. Hoffman called on the Catalan capital to restore its confidence, which for him was harmed due to events both here and on a global scale. He told attendees that Barcelona was gaining momentum once again and fulfilling its potential. The Mobile World Congress is expected to draw in more than 100,000 people from all corners of the world. It starts on February 26th. Still talking about technology, but now applied to the health sector. The Catalan Public Health Service presented today a centre which aims to detect hereditary cancers at an earlier stage by using genetics. In fact, around 5% of breast and colon tumours are inherited, with the number of cases expected to rise significantly in the next few years.
Catalonia goes one step further in detecting cancer. A new service available at hospitals aims to explore and detect cancer with a genetic component. It's estimated that 5% of new cases of breast and colon cancer are hereditary. Identifying the risk for the condition would allow for early diagnosis. Hereditary cancer is caused by a concrete genetic alteration. Currently, 70% of the population has access to oncologic services, and as regards this new service, all Catalan citizens are to have access. Even though cases of cancer are expected to increase in the next years, the Catalan Health Service has also set the objective to increase the number of diagnoses and survivors.
Catalunya fa front al repte als propers anys de tenir més pacients diagnosticats amb càncer, pacients que seran més vells, però també el resultat d'un augment de la supervivència en càncer.
Any person suspecting that might run the risk of suffering from hereditary form of cancer can go to a health center and have a medical checkup and close monitoring of their situation. Thanks to an early diagnosis, the treatment can be more effective than it's ever been. The most frequent tumor in men is prostate cancer, while in women is breast cancer. In 2015, more than 20,000 men and 15,000 women suffered from cancer, yet the forecasts point to these figures rising in the years to come.
Catalonia is not only known for the sciences, but also the arts. If you're a bookworm, this week a festival kicked off dedicated to a specific genre, one that's mysterious, dark and noir. This is Bicien Negra, an event all about crime writing, and it brought a name you might recognise to the city, the novelist James Ellroy. The author was the winner of the award given out at the Mystery Festival called the Pepe Carballo. The prize is named after one of the most famous fictional detectives in the country, created by Manuel Vázquez Montalbán. James Ellroy is well known himself, having penned 19 books, including The Black Dahlia. His writing style and his speech are notoriously direct, and he had some biting and quite colourful criticism of what he called mainstream literature versus crime fiction. And let's just say that he didn't mince his words.
They consider mainstream literature serious and crime fiction second class, when in reality, crime fiction is first class and mainstream literature is bullshit.
In western Catalonia, the Ibarzi-Vilassana lake is showing symptoms that all is not well. The local habitat is showing signs of exhaustion, and 4 species of birds have disappeared from the area in recent years. Some species that are in danger of extinction can still be seen in the area, but they no longer use the place for reproduction due to its deterioration. Locals have called on the administration to take action. Sadly, habitat loss is a common trend that can be seen all over the world. Have a look at the lake on a foggy day. We'll be back tomorrow.